Good morning, Wrightville. Happy Thursday. So this is getting posted just a little bit late, but it's the flipped classroom. So I'll go over what you're doing today. Um, you'll want to, of course, start in your homework classroom. And there's Thursday. I've got some fun things planned for today. We're wrapping up the science, and we'll be going into weather next week. So first of all, check. I have been returning work back, so check and see if you have some work returned back to you with some comments. Be sure to read those comments. That's what's going to make you better. It's going to make you be your best. Many of you are turning in assignments that have 1 and 2 words for your answers. Going into 4th grade, you're going to need to be writing complete sentences. So a lot of you are getting stuff back saying, please give evidence, please use a complete sentence, please explain further. So coming into 3rd grade, you're coming from 2nd to 3rd, and 1 and 2 answers, it's okay, but going into 4th, it's not acceptable. So make sure you're always doing your best. Make sure you're always fully explaining yourself. Remember, I told you at the beginning of the year, if you provide evidence, then it's very hard for a teacher to mark things wrong if you have evidence to support your thinking. 1 and 2 words does not give enough evidence for that, okay? So check your work, and I'll be grading more tonight and tomorrow and over the weekend. And you can always log into Google Classroom and always check and see if any work is there for you to make some corrections on and turn into me, and then I'll change the grade. I have started adding in inspirational videos. I don't know if you watched the one yesterday. I hope you did. It was from a movie called The Pursuit of Happiness. And we'll talk a little bit about that in Google Hangouts, but this is the one for today, and it is an absolutely amazing video. For those of us that have said, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't do multiplication, I can't do my cursive, I can't find the evidence, wait till you watch this, and it'll make it so you no longer will ever want to say I can't, because if this guy can do everything that he has done and accomplished over the years, I think you can accomplish multiplication. It just may take some time, right? Nothing comes fast and easy like that. So definitely watch that video. It's a great one. So our first thing, we have math and science today. The first thing is some word problems. You're going to solve 3 word problems of your choice. Choose your wizardry math, or show your wizardry math thinking 4 ways to prove you're correct. So here's your word problems here. This is the word bank you can choose from. You're going to choose 3 out of the 6. So you can read through the 3, find the 6 of them, find the 3 that you want, and you'll notice that they're each assigned a letter. I'm just waiting for it to pull up. We have somebody coming to look at our internet next week because it sure is slow. Yesterday, it wouldn't even move. So see how they each have a letter on them? Whichever one you choose, you'll need that letter, because this is where, I need to find my wizardry paper. Word problems. This is my wizardry paper. It doesn't say wizardry in it, sorry. So it'll ask you what letter you're solving. So word problem, here's where you type your letter. So if you chose letter A, then you'll type letter A in here. And then it has 4 ways that you need to show your work on the choice card. First, write an equation with a symbol for the unknown digit, or unknown number, that should be. And you know that another word for that symbol is a variable. So in here, you're going to write an equation, and you're going to have a variable, a letter that represents what you're trying to find. And then on this one, you're going to create a picture or a diagram model. You might want to create an array. You might want to do groups. If you're doing groups, you could insert a table. Like if you have 6 groups, you could insert a table with 6 spots. And then if there has to be 3 donuts in each box, then just insert a picture of, you could do a little donut or a dot and put 3 in each box. Okay, so there's that. Here, oops, this subtraction sign got moved up. It should be down. Let's see if I can get that moved down. I can. Here you're going to solve the subtraction problem. Many of you struggled with this on the assignment day before yesterday, I believe it was. This gray area up here is where you will do the regrouping. So if you have 321 minus 147, if I always have to start with my big number at the top. This is the one that you start with, is right up here, this big number. Because remember, when we take away, we start with the big number, we take pieces of it away. This is my takeaway down here. So I have to start up at the top. So if it has a 1 up here, and if it has a 7 down here, I can't say that the answer is 6, because this is really saying I have 1 and I have to take away 7. Can you do that? If you have 1, these are my ones. My ones place value is right here. So if I have $1 bill in my ones place value, can I take away $7 bills? I can't. I have to have more $1 bills. How do I get those $1 bills? I go over here to my tens and I take a 10 away. So if I have 5 tens and I take 1 away, I'm going to put a 4 up here because now I have 4 tens. Okay? And then I'm going to bring this 10 over here. And now I have 10 $1 bills, and then I still have my one $1 bill. So now I have 11 $1 bills. If I have 11 $1 bills, could I take 7 away from them? I can. So do you see how you always have to start with this row right here? The gray is to show your regrouping, where you did your thinking. The top row is the one that you are subtracting from. That is the one you're taking away from. Remember, subtraction means to take away. I can't take away if the number's too small. I can fix it by regrouping. This is something we really need to practice working on, and we didn't get a chance to before school ended abruptly and we had to leave. So we're just going to work on it together through Google Classroom. And then in here, I want you to write a sentence. So if you find out that there were 372 students and 145 of them got straight A's, and you're trying to figure out how many of them, let's see, 145 of them got straight A's, and you're trying to find out how many of them had a couple B's. And so you're going to subtract. And then in my sentence, I might say, there were 397 students at Adams. Out of those 397 students, 236 of them had B's on their report card. 147 of them had straight A's. So you're going to type it out in a story sentence. Okay, and then you're going to scroll down. You're going to do that 3 times. You'll choose 3 different problems. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense there. Let's look and see what we have next. If I go up here, oops, didn't mean to click there. I'm going to scroll up, and now I have number puzzle word problems. Here's my number puzzle word problem. This is similar to yesterday's, but you're not picking your own numbers. You will on one of them. It gives you a little bit of a story problem. So Sarah planted blank blank carrots in her garden. She planted them in blank rows. Each row had blank carrots. So you can use digits 1 through 9 one time each. So I can only use the number 1 one time. I can only use the number 2 one time. And each of these spaces has to have a digit. So I can't use 0 and I can't leave 1 blank. So I cannot have 9 carrots in our garden. I have to have at least 19 carrots. Okay? So down here is where you're going to solve it 3 different ways. So each box must have a digit in it. And then the yellow space is where you fill in your times, plus, subtraction, or division, whichever one you need to help that sentence make sense. So if she planted 27 carrots and she had 4 rows, if I have 27 carrots and I'm going to put them into 4 rows, let's say 28 carrots, and I'm going to put them into 4 rows, then what function am I doing? Am I adding No, I can't really add in here because I can't do 28 plus 4 because I have 28 carrots and I'm putting them into 4 rows. Each row had how many carrots. This needs to know how many did each row have. So I have 4 rows, or in my problem, I have 4 rows. So if I know I have 4 rows and I started with 28 carrots, that means I'm going to have to take some of those 28 carrots and put some into each of the 4 rows. So you have to figure out which function is that, which operation. Then you're going to solve it another way using different numbers and come up with, it doesn't have to be 4 rows. Maybe it's 10 rows this time. Well, we can't, it's only 1 through 9. Maybe it's 5 rows this time. Then you're going to solve it again using different numbers. So you're planting your garden 3 different ways. Okay? So biggest thing on this is, and then you scroll down from the carrots and you have the same idea with cookies. However, you're only going to solve this one way with the cookies. Okay? You're only going to solve it one way with the cookies. And notice they tell you that you're starting with 84 cookies. So that's actually going to be your number right here. Okay? 84. How many cookies did he start with? He started with 84. So I just gave you a hint that you're going to start with 84 cookies, and then he puts them into rows. So what are we doing? Are we multiplying? Are we making it bigger and adding multiple addition to it? Or when we're taking it apart and we're putting the cookies into rows, what are we doing? What function is that? Okay, so that's for you to think about there. The next one is a game. This one you'll need to play with a partner, so you'll need to play with mom or dad or a brother or sister. You'll either need 2 dice or a deck of cards, or you can make your own cards by just cutting out squares and numbering 1 on one square, 2 on another square, 3 on another square, 4 on another square, 1 through 9, and you have to make 2 sets. So the directions are right here. I'm not going to read through those. I'm just going to quickly explain. But I think you can read through them, please. You'll need to play in partners, and there's a game board for each partner. Here's one game board. Here's another game board. Player 1 and player 2. So you'll need to open up both game boards. And so if I can read through my directions. I don't think I need anything because I'm going to let you read through the directions on your own. Yeah, I just want to show you quickly how to play it because we're running out of time. All right, this one's still pulling up. So you'll either roll your 2 dice or you'll flip over 2 cards. And then the job is you have a hundreds chart. There's a hundreds here. And you have to make arrays and color them in and see who can get the closest to filling up their whole hundreds chart with arrays without going over. You can't have more than 100. You have to get as close to 100 as you can, and whoever gets as close to 100 without going over wins. So I'm going to flip over. This is player 1, and then there's another one for player 2. I'm going to flip over my 2 cards, and let's say I have a 3 and a 7. So 3 times 7 is 21. So I have to color in 3. It's kind of slow. 3 times 7. I have to go down and color in 7. There's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I use my paint can tool, and I can color that in with whatever color I want. Now you can put your array anywhere you want. I started over here. I didn't have to. I could put it over here. I could have put it down towards the bottom. I could have put it right here. But I can put my array anywhere, and then I have to fill in 3 times 7 is 21. Okay, so every time I create an array, I have to put it in the word problem down here. So now it's my partner's turn. On their game board, they either roll their dice or flip over 2 cards, and they do it again. Then it's my turn. I roll over 2 cards. It's 2 times 2, so that's 4. So maybe I want to put this array right here. And so I get my 4 and use my paint can to fill in the color, for that array, and then I write it down at the bottom. And you keep taking turns and going back and forth until you see who can fill in their array or get the closest to filling it in without going over. Now, if you want to play this again, you can just highlight this whole board and then make it white, and you have a game board ready to play again. Okay? So now, hopefully, I think I just highlighted that one part. Or you can make a copy of the game board, and then you have that one. So I'm going to make this white so that it's ready to go. Okay. And then, of course, you'll have to delete down here at the bottom the numbers if you're going to play it a second time. I would like you to turn in one game board, one completed game board, so I can give you a grade on that. So if you play again, you might actually want to make a copy of it rather than making it white, because I want you to turn it in. So you might want to make a copy of it now that I think about it. So then we're on to science. Your science for today is you're going to go right here to this animal group behavior. And there's a video right here that you're going to watch. And if you hold your mouse right here, still thinking, there's your link for the video. Down at the bottom, and then after you watch the video, you're going to click here and click right here, and it's going to take you to a quiz. You're going to take the quiz, and then you're going to scroll down and fill in the chart down here. 3 ways that animals benefit from living in groups, right at here. And then there's 2. It's a 3, 2, 1. You do 3 things in this box, 2 things in the next box, and 1 in the next box. And then that's what you'll turn in. So I know that was a little fast on that part. Hopefully that makes sense. If you read the directions, it is pretty easy to tell what it is. But I do need to get the Google Hangouts up. So if you have any other questions, give me a text. All right. Love ya. Have a good day.